Well, welcome. It's so exciting to be in the room with all of you, and many of you have traveled a long way and woken up early and chosen to be here over being in other exciting events you can be at, and I'm very grateful. So thank you so much for being here. I just had the chance to meet 5 fantastic people, and I'm sure that you did as well. I would like to first to get a kind of a quick snapshot of everyone who's in the room. So when I ask these questions, you may raise your hands more than once because this is a very ambitious group of people here. But just so we kind of get a little bit of a sense, who's here from the social entrepreneur community? Who in the room is a social entrepreneur? Fantastic, thank you. Who in the room is involved in a fellowship program, so running a fellowship program of some kind? Who in here is an investor or a donor? Yeah. Who in here is an executive leadership coach? Okay. Fantastic. Researchers? Okay, great. Other? Okay, those of you who put up your hand for other, what term did we miss?
Social entrepreneur.
Social entrepreneur, fantastic. There's a couple hands. Gentlemen?
Social Enterprise Accelerator.
Social Enterprise Accelerator, excellent, thank you. Yeah. Jorge?
Professors and lecturers.
Professors, okay, yeah.
Kind of in research. But
Yeah, okay, professors and lecturers. Yeah, okay, fantastic. All right. Well, I think we're all going to hear more about your stories today and what brings you here, and I look forward to that. And to share a little bit about my story, which Tiffany alluded to, kind of what has brought me here and why I'm so delighted to have this chance to be learning, with and from you, is that I started my first social enterprise in my mid-20s. I was a micro-entrepreneur because I started it in my living room in New York City. And my only employee was myself and my poor boyfriend who got pressed into service. And those first years were really tough. I felt very isolated. I was sort of fatigued from asking for money, earning for money, trying to figure out my business model. Like the idea of scaling was so far away from me. I was just trying to, make payroll month to month. And what really changed things for me was getting into a fellowship program that introduced me to a community of like-minded women entrepreneurs and social entrepreneurs. The opportunity to get leadership coaching. And the opportunity to be asked what my vision was, and then support to kind of go out and achieve that vision. And it was really at that point that I feel like my impact took off and laid the foundation for a new initiative that I founded, which was a global network of donors and youth leaders and researchers and NGOs and private sector companies to really identify and then scale up solutions to the Global Youth Employment Initiative. And so when I exited both of those 2 social enterprises about 18 months ago, I was fascinated by the question of what do women social entrepreneurs need to scale and thrive personally? And I think the thrive personally is important, and my own opinion is it's not necessarily part of the conversation to the degree that it needs to be part of the conversation, because we know that women, many women, are not only climbing that mountain that all entrepreneurs and social entrepreneurs are climbing, but there's other responsibilities that they're fielding, right? Like cognitive load. One time the babysitter coming, she canceled, now I gotta find somebody else. Oh God, the garbage man didn't come this morning. What are my neighbors gonna say? I mean, this is so much going on. Aging parents. We also know that women are facing issues of conscious and unconscious bias and all that brings. And we know that there aren't necessarily the role models or the expectations for women social entrepreneurs in the same way that there may be for our male counterparts. So that's why I think the piece that the Wild Network is focusing on of what do women social entrepreneurs need to scale and thrive. Personally, we see these 2 things as interlinked, that the more that women are thriving personally, the greater they have, the greater the support they have to scale their social impact and also to be sustained over the long run, not only for the current chapter that they're in, but for future chapters where they're going to go on to continue to make very important contributions to the world as we want to see it. And so when I sort of think about this day as we're here, I have this view of a mountain range where we are all climbing this mountain to see how we can do the best work possible supporting women social entrepreneurs to scale. And I know from conversations with many of you in this room that many people here are laying some of those initial ropes that they're putting in the footholds and handholds for other people to accelerate the progress that other people make. And I'm so grateful for our 16 speakers who have taken time out to prepare and to travel and share their knowledge with us, because you're really the pioneers, and we have so much to learn from and with you today. And I think that that's going to accelerate the progress that we can all make here. And at the WILD Network, we're committed to also consolidating the learnings that come out of today to be able to, for everyone in the room, and to be able to share those more broadly. So our priorities, the WILD Network's priorities for the next 18 months. So I've been sort of doing research and putting together the concept for the organization for the last 18 months or so, and thank you to all the informants in the room, social entrepreneurs and others who've been contributing to that. And our priorities are to this knowledge management question of what do women social entrepreneurs need to thrive, to scale their impact and thrive. We also are working to develop a network amongst women social entrepreneurs, going across fellowship programs, so with the idea that Ashoka Fellows can be more connected to women social entrepreneurs who are Echo and Green Fellows and Skoll Fellows, and women who aren't necessarily in fellowship programs yet at all. And then as part of our support to women social entrepreneurs, we also have an initiative whereby we are linking 5 world-class leadership coaches to about 20 women social entrepreneurs who are in the process of scaling their impact, in order to be able to gather data about what are the outcomes from having that sort of intentional support to women at a critical juncture in their scaling process. So we're fortunate to have 2 of these coaches who are offering their services pro bono through the WILD Network to women social entrepreneurs. So Donnie and Hortense in the back of the room, very grateful for your involvement. And the 5 coaches come from different parts of the globe. We have Donnie here from the UK, Hortense who's in France. We have another coach who's based in India, somebody based in the US. Oh, and I'm missing a country. One other country, let's get out of my mind. With the idea that we will be able to provide support to women social entrepreneurs working in different contexts. So again, that data can be as rich as possible. And if any women social entrepreneurs in the room are interested in that opportunity, or you would like to spread the word to others, that information is on the WILD Network page. So welcome. My hopes for the day is that we can have, while our agenda is formal, in that a lot of people like Tiffany and Samantha Carlin and others have kind of worked hard to work with speakers to prepare the panels, we have a formal agenda. I also invite us to be informal in that we are looking to have a lot of discussion and ask questions, and while we're looking to share the success and traction that we have in our work, also inviting us to share the failures that we're having, what we learned from that and how to move forward. So everyone in the room is very much invited to the conversation, and we're looking to be kind of action-oriented, especially when we move towards the end of the day, as we reflect on what we've learned and our own experience and our own goals. What are the kinds of actions that we're, sharing the kinds of actions that we're interested in taking individually and with our own organizations, and maybe what opportunities do we see for collective action coming out of a day? What kind of time-bound, intentional working groups do we see that might be useful? How can we continue to harness the expertise and energy and commitment that we have in this room today? So that's where we're headed. So thank you very much again for being here.